Yo, yo. All right, where we at? All right, all right, all right. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Oh, let it pile up, niggas. Oh, so fucking pizza. All right, we just letting them pile up. Hippity hoppity hippity. Sassy talk. What's going on, niggers? Hello, niggers. It is good to see you, niggers. What's up, nigger? He's all excited about a full moon. Ooh, the moon is full. What do we do now? Tony Instagram. Tony Ingram. Ty Ingram. What up? Alright, let him come on in. Man, still ain't gonna do shit. Moon gonna be fucking shit cottage cheese and y'all. Well, I guess the ancestors. Let's go. I might have to send you my PS5 for that class, like I should have done with the PS4. I already got a PS5. What you need to do is send some money. I know it's hard for you to understand the concept. Precious ass PS5. All right, let's let it go. Yes, that's what it's designed to do. The prophetic dreams. All right, make my day go right. $ brother Pan, Cash App a nigga. Make it better. What up? What up? We're gonna get into some questions. Go on, brother. Been watching Brother T. Freeman now lectures on astrology. Not done though. Good. Send him one. That's a good dude to watch for that. Give you some real insight on that concept. Instead of keep telling you everything's in fucking retrograde and supposed to be the best it gets. Blue moon. Ever notice, guys, how they really keep telling you this is moon we ain't seen this shit in 400 years. Last time this shit happened, it was about fucking 19, 18, 23, and all the rest of this shit. Like, see, my granddaughter fucked up my mic flow. There we go. It's a fucking mechanism to type this shit. All right. There we go. Ay. Message. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right, guys. So we're going to get in there and just letting people pile up. Oh. Let's make this bigger. Yes, there we go. That's what I need. All right. The Cyclomancy class is now. You can sign up now, and we're going to start class number 1 on Saturday. So if you're ready for action, action is now. You can sign up at occultlectures.com. Same website as this goddamn channel that you're on. And you can go ahead and get in Saturday's class. So let's do it. It's going to be a fucking thing. Oh shit, Nicole Fire. Straight to it and chaseable. Love you too, Nicole Fire. Who loves orange soda? I like that. That name is cool. All right, let's go, guys. We're going to do Q&A. We're going to ask some questions today. Trash man couldn't get my trash today. I'm going to make you aware of something as well. We're going to give it just a little bit more time, see where we're at, and shout some folks out. Then we're going to get in it. Yeah, I did the full moon treat you well. Yeah, that's what we're going to deal with. Oh, yeah. No, the Cyclomancy class is live and pre-recorded. If it was pre-recorded, then you'd be able to just have got them a long time ago. No, they're live. The first class, the first cycle is this weekend. So for those who are interested, you could sign up on my website, and you'll get probably tonight or definitely by tomorrow, get the links to Saturday and Sunday's class. Saturday and Sunday's class. So classes will be Saturday and Sunday. We're going to go through the book very hard to get a copy of the book as well. And it'll put you in a position to understand just a little bit deeper that book. So when you do study that, you'll be able to get more out of it, I believe. So yes. Also, we're developing, as you can see by this fancy microphone, a podcast. And we've already started to record. I have a whole hot-ass team of hosts. Shout out to my girl Nada out of Louisiana and her man Jarvis. Nada is the host on the show. Nada is off the hook. So you guys will love her. She was though she took my class, she took a lot of Khadijah's classes, really, actually. Jarvis took my class, but she really got attached to Khadijah's work. And Khadijah recommended her, and a perfect fit. I couldn't ask for more. So you're gonna love Nada. We've already started interviewing, so look forward to that. A new podcast coming where we're gonna interview a lot of folks, try to find some new folks, some speakers. The most I've been finding is ranters, not teachers, but ranters are cool too. I'm also a ranter, so we'll have some ranters on until teachers emerge, and there will also have some fun interviews, some funny people, some people who made progress, some interesting people who will tell you about their interesting lives and spiritual progress. But the name of the game is to have laughs, and this has been done before. Certain people remember that for a time with Talk Shoe Radio, I created my own radio show. And pretty much we interviewed and had my friends as hosts. And it was nothing but laughter, jokes nonstop. And we plan on recreating that now. Nada is the perfect one, Jarvis. And I also have my girl out of Little Rock, Elnora. She's crazy for years. I already had her pick for the podcast on day one, and she hung in there till we found Nada, the fourth. The third person is going to be my son, Torin TJ. Y'all know about him from just hearing about him for years, but so he's all grown and he brings a perspective that's unique in terms of his questioning and things like that. So the mixture is excellent so far, so good. And so look forward to the Pandemonium podcast. I don't know if it's going to be on this channel or if I'll create another channel, but you can create sub channels within your channel. I create a sub channel for it, which I think is just smarter for organization purposes. And I'll be happy to let you know where to go to subscribe. And I think that's the story of that. So yes, look forward to that soon. And again, remember, you can join now the cyclomancy. You know what I'm saying? We in that place right now, bruh. Classes is on right now, bruh. Come on and join. Come on in for the big win. Come on, join the team. There we go. All right. Just checking the shit. Where we at? Okay, looks like this is what it's going to be. All right, so close up shop. This fucking new moon shit. Ain't y'all tired of it? Like, let's be real. Like, I know y'all supposed to be all black community thing, and you believe that you're doing something that we're doing. And that's really only because you have a church mentality and you think you're in a congregation when you're just about a bunch of motherfuckers talking the same kind of thing, but not really talking the same kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be a little bit more honest with yourself. You don't know what the fuck to do or what a fucking blue moon means or where the fuck it comes from. You don't. And even if you read some shit on it, you still don't know how to access anything that's going to change your reality. And that's the truth. You know, ooh, a blue moon, full moon energy. But at the end of the day, after the blue moon is over, the next thing that comes out your mouth is, would you like to supersize those fries? And you know I ain't lying. First and foremost, this is what's known. A moon phase, or to synchronize your life or your magic by moon phases, is another way of saying I'm co-signing with time. In spirituality, you're trying to transcend the prison of time. So at a certain beginning stage, when you're still in the mentality of humanity in time, it makes sense to understand what moon phases are and to synchronize some divinity by it. But if you don't naturally get past that, then what does that say? That says you have a sermon mentality. And in fact, I think some of these things were put there to see if you would transcend it. And those who couldn't transcend it were how those who taught knew who to teach. Because it makes such a statement on stuck event. If you're waiting for the moon to turn blue for you to do anything, you have a problem. If you need the moon to be full to do a certain type of magic and the moon to be waning or waxing to do a certain type of magic, then if you're starting out, see, if I'm starting out and I have to learn this keyboard, I'm going to have to learn what middle C is, then then A, B, D, E, F, and G, and where they're located. And then the sound they make. Then I have to know chord progressions. Then I have to know tone. Then I have to know beats, beats, a 4-beat versus a half beat, or a half note versus not a beat. That's a drum machine. Half note versus a whole note, so on and so forth. So I mean, in the beginning, I'm going to rely on reading, scholarship, intellect, and using my memory. But after you get past that, the scales. Why do you think they tell you when you've seen in so many movies when you're learning the drum, you get on the drums, you want to smoke, but they just tell you about boom, tick, boom. They're trying to get your subconscious mind through repetition to stay in a position. Because if you're always at this base position, you could go anywhere. Boom, boom, ding. You can stay in. That's why they want your hands in a certain position. That's why wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. Because if your moves are up here and down, all you're thinking is wax on. You did it 1,000 times. There's a movie, I think it's called Master Killer. And I don't watch Chinese movies. Like, he wanted to learn from the temple. He said, all right, if you fix our roofs, I'll teach you karate. So it's 10 years, he's fixing the roofs by himself. But he's watching the students and he's learning the moves through fixing the roof. Or you watch the new Karate Kid, where he's putting the code up and down. And then when he got on that machine, it was just up and down moves. What's happening? You're exercising in the books and all of that, or the moon phases, exercise the mind in a repetitious scenario for when you are actually going to actually fight, or when you're actually going to play in front of an audience. All the practicing in the hand position and the repetition, play chopstick first. You're learning how to control and keep your hands in a base position for when you do learn more complication things. It starts from that base, and it's so ingrained in you. That's the same thing with this moon phase shit. Same thing with the zodiac shit. Certain things that you learn at a human level, that where humanity meets divinity, where humanity meets spirituality. So moon phases, your humanity in terms of time that times that's routine, that equates to hand position, is in the same, is used to explain to you waning, waxing, new moon, and full, and the energies that are associated with it and how to work within that scheme. All right, so waxing moon, so I need to think this way. It's a waning moon, so I need to think getting rid of. Waxing, I need to gain. I need to think full of abundance. In this one, I need to take what in a new moon, I need to take out of the invisible and bring it into the visible. So, so once you get that concept in order, you want to therefore be able to say, well, wait, why do I have to wait for a full moon to do this or a waning moon to do that? And I Storm, we'll get to what the fuck the moon is in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like I just seen a video where they showed and proved that the Egyptian, the Hindu, and the Sumerian talked about a people before the time of the moon. And there's a book, Who Built the Moon? And then there's the seismic charges on the moon, and it rung like a bell. And then there's the picture where they see the moon keep shaking. Oh, first of all, you can't say this is Maya and this is an illusionary world, but the moon is real and the blue moon is real. These are things that are happening in you, but you don't know what's happening in you. This may just be blue moon, may just something to do with your blue chakra or blue frequency. I haven't heard anything, and not to mention, no matter what I've ever heard over the years, nobody made anything special happen out of it. And if things happen or shifted or changed, they was happening anyway, whether you know it or not. To make yourself aware of it or to look forward to it is just another wait till Jesus come back moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said, a fruit is also called a fruit moon. By who? By whom? You know what I'm saying? Show me the text where black people were calling it a fruit moon. And not to say it's not out there, but at the end of the day, are you dependent on the moon to do whatever it is you need to do? Or limited by being a Sagittarius, a Taurus, or a goddamn Aquarius? We should understand. People ask, do you believe in it? It's not a belief system. Those things are true. What I'm talking about is a level. It's a level. You know what I'm saying? It's a level that we need to understand. And we're still zodiac is time. That's why there's 12 of them. I mean, it's quite simple. When you understand the story of Christ or Jesus or the Christos energy, which you need to understand, if you're conscious or is supposed to be you, true consciousness, you become Christ. That means you become the 13th. The 13th is the number that gets you out of this lockdown. It gets you out of the 12. Jesus has 12 disciples. The word disciple means discipline. Those are the 12 zodiacs. To discipline the zodiac is to become the 13th. That's to discipline the animalistic nature of yourself. That's why each Taurus has good attributes and bad attributes. And so do I believe that? Absolutely. That'd be stupid not to believe. But for me to invest my consciousness in that is another way of saying I'm investing my consciousness into humanity. And that's a choice. Is it wrong or right? I'm not talking about wrong or right. Is it good or bad? I'm not talking about good or bad. It is what it is. But what I've been saying for the last 20 years since I've been here is there's another thought process that transcends that type of thinking. And that's what I strive for. And that's what I'm hoping anyone who's a true student of the occult is striving for as well. Not to be locked down by when the moon turns blue or when it's the closest to the earth or when it's that. To not ignore it, but not put your emotional excitement. Oh, it's a new moon and we're on live. Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between today and fucking when it was an old fucking moon? Nothing. You're either going to get it or you're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? You need to work on getting a truer understanding of what all of this shit means instead of acting like, and let me say it again, instead of acting like You're participating in something that you're sitting around witnessing. The moon is blue, so I wore my blue shorts today as I punched in that fucking Arby's. We got the meats. The moon is blue, but we got the meats. Like, listen, you need to stop acting like you're doing something spiritual and actually do what it entails to become spiritual. And what I found, like I said, you may not come to this determination, but be honest with yourself. Have you really probed that within yourself to see if you come to that? Somebody said they work at Arby's, and you'll be working there after the moon turns fucking white again. And that's the point. And I'm not saying there's not necessarily nothing wrong with working at Arby's. We all here doing what we got to do if you really work there. If we all doing what we got to do, but we need to stop faking that we're doing something that we're not. That's really nothing more than the same Christianity that's sitting there getting themselves to believe that some guy is coming back to rescue them who can walk on water, because they don't have any access or any power. They empower themselves emotionally with this. You understand? They empower themselves emotionally with this. Emotionally, what drives your emotion comes from within, not because the moon turns blue. If I'm excited about a blue moon, I'm excited about what I'm going to make happen on the blue moon. But again, I urge you to get past the blue moon and make it exciting for what happens on a white moon as well. Now, if you found some information that it makes it easier somehow on a moon that's blue to do something, then by all means, knock yourself out and be as excited as you want to be. But understand something quite clearly. The jury's still out if the moon is even real. Y'all need to understand that. So while you even trying to have a debate about the moon and how much you should get into it and how real any of that shit is, there's a real live vigorous study on the moon being an artificial intelligent or artificial body here that actually fucks you up. You got to understand how much it pulls on water and blood, and that's what you're basically made of. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings about how sexy a blue moon is, because white people ain't talking about it. What do you think you're talking about? Because niggas in the conscious community talk about it, you think that's something? These niggas ain't nothing. These niggas, man, once YouTube said you could get some money, they would tell you any and every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? There's very few people who are really dedicated to the study. I'm dedicated, if you must know, to the study for myself. Truth be told, fuck y'all. Because I can talk and I feel it's a part of what I'm here to do. If you benefit from it, excellent. But need to understand, you never notice you ain't hear me arguing and debating with none of these fucking clown ass niggas? Because I don't have nothing to prove about what I'm teaching. I'm not, see, they argue and debate because they're trying to sell you niggas because you niggas are fucking sheep. And y'all need to become to terms with that. Y'all sheep, and even though you think you deep, they're fucking playing with your ego. They all think you're sheep, and I dwell amongst most of them. Let me say most of them, not all. Most of them talk and think of you as units and sheep. That's real. You just think you're deep because they told you you're deep because you have melanin. But see, I've been consistently telling you, and will tell you today as well, you ain't shit unless you're doing this work. I don't need you to follow me. I don't need your fucking clicks or your attention. If I needed anything, I'm gonna find it in myself and fulfill those needs. I don't need you to be needed. But if I need somebody to talk to and hang out with on Thanksgiving and go to some concerts with, then you and I are in business. But for this study, this is called Know Thyself, not Know Thy Community. If you need a community, and I understand we all may need a community because most of us were the black sheep in the family, and this is that true family that you can for the best case or the best case scenario you can find as a substitute, then nothing should stop you. Nothing is wrong with that. But you need to call it a spade a spade. You understand what I'm saying? You need to call a spade a spade. And if that family is talking about and is excited about the blue moon, then you need to understand what that means. And that's fine too for them. But again, I'm speaking to the people who want to step out of that because you're all pretending that you do. So I'm talking to the ones who want to step out of that, not trying to force you or tell you my way or that it is even my way at all. This is, I tried to stick to occult understanding and make what I do clear and make you understand that you're not here to do what I do. You're here to find out what you need to do. And you're not going to be, unless you come up with your own blue moon ritual, unless you find your own thing inspired by your own self, then it's all worthless. If you're doing what some guy said to do, this is what you do on a blue moon night, then I'm your preacher. I'm your preacher. That is not occult science. There is a certain level of that. If we were in a group dynamic of occult science, and again, y'all know what I think about groups, they all eventually go bust. But let's say we started out and somehow we're making progress as a group at this moment. Okay, there might be a group ritual we could do, like how we did Captain America. But see, I want you to understand, here's a different interpretation. When I told you guys to do the Captain America ritual, I said, everyone get a Captain America doll and do whatever they want to do it. I didn't say all take it to the toilet and do that, or all take it underground and do that, which sometimes that could happen because that adds more power, but it's got to be the minds that are on it. If you're doing it for the church ritual, then you're adding power to somebody else's ritual because you're just a mindless ghoul. But if you're using this to empower yourself, then you're taking your own power and using it for your cause, but then adding to the ether of the synchronicity that adds to a bigger power. I know it's really not that hard when I'm saying, even though it sounds like it's what I'm saying is a little bit more complicated, but it's the mentality that is actually the key in it. If you have a church mentality, oh, the moon is blue. But see, if I ask that same excited person, well, what are you going to do? What does it mean? Who is the first people to talk about sciences? What's the mythology of the blue moon? What's the metaphysics? What's the esoteric? Give me some scholarship on the esoteric studies. Give me something that someone said or proved that they have done or that you can do that yields anything besides what you can yield yourself through your own will, confidence, and your own knowing. Tell me. And we won't even get to one or two of those. We won't get past one or two of those. But they're the same person writing, oh, it's a full moon, it's a blue in here. You can't be that gullible in any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Understand that none of it is wrong. Don't look at it in terms of right or wrong. Look at it in terms of level. And you need to understand where things go. And how do you define level? When you wipe it away, does it really oversee your humanity? Or does it oversee or help push to evolving past it? So if I say, oh, you're an Aquarius, so you act like this and you act like that, does that sound like someone who's telling you, I see your spirit or I see your humanity? So why the fuck I want to hear that? If you just see my humanity and you cannot see my divinity, then why the fuck do I want to talk to you? I might as well go try to talk to Beyonce. And here tells she probably can see your spirituality more than half you niggas in here these days. But I might as well talk to a human being if you're gonna just say, oh, you're a Taurus, that means you like to do, I get it. And you ever notice that very few pick your sign? Oh, Patty, you must be a Taurus because you act like that. As soon as you tell them, oh, I knew it. What's your sign? You're a Capricorn? I knew it. That's why you act like this. No, why'd you ask me my sign? You should be saying, you're a Capricorn because. Like, again, not trying to shit on it, nothing wrong. It's a level. And then there's some people who excel at that level of it. But again, when I hear it, I can see the Kamites understanding of the personality types and how we were put into a prison system. So in other words, if I went to Rikers Island and they said, these are the houses, 2 top, 2 middle, 2 lower, 4 top, 4 middle, 4 lower, 3 top, 3 middle, 3 lower. One, I think it was a 1-2. Now, it was called 2 top, chop shop. 2 main, 4 main, House of Pain. That was the first one. So even House of Pain comes from Rikers Island, 4 main. And 2 top, chop shop, they used to say, which had a more Puerto Rican presence. So if your black ass went in there, oh, believe they're going to Julianne your ass. And they used to call them Germans because that was a mind control thing to get you to see Puerto Ricans as your enemy and not the same as you. I mean, long and short and round about it, you got to understand your lane and what you're playing with. You're mixing me in, and there was a time it wasn't like that. You're mixing me in with every other dumb thing you're hearing from everybody else when they're trying to celebrate and get your attention. So they're trying to do things, which is nothing wrong with, that make your humanity better. You know what I'm saying? So that you could see who you are as a human. That is absolutely a part of our divine understanding because we don't even know who we are as humans. So I honor and celebrate those who teach any of this stuff, Zodiac, all of that. It's just that you got to understand that's not here. Moon phases are not here. Understand what I'm saying? Unless you that new person, I say fuck with it until you find you don't need moon phases or you don't need to read the book anymore for keyboards. You're ready to start recording and then you're ready to play live concerts with a keyboard because you've gotten to that level. Let's have respect and deal with these shit on a level. Move like you're dealing with levels. You know what I'm saying? Not just you running your mouth because you a fucking church mother, fresh out of church and never changed your hold on, let me tell my son to bring me 2 slices. So I need to bring me like 3 slices, man. Fuck that shit. Give me 1 second. Let me text my son. While I'm texting Torin, how about y'all send me a little Cash App love? Brother Pan, I got it pinned at the top, $ Brother Pan. Any dab or do ya? I think I heard him upstairs. If you don't come down, then I'll look at these. So y'all got to know your lanes. Y'all got to know who you're talking to. Y'all got to know what the essence of your speak is about. Y'all hear this black community idea and y'all think it's coming from one force. Half them can't stand each other, to be quite honest. Half them. Y'all seen how that happened when it started debating. They're all fighting for your attention. They all have this egotistical super saver nigga. You need to be absolutely clear. The only person you can absolutely save is yourself. The true teacher only can give you the tools for you to go on your own automatic pilot. You know what I'm saying? And again, from what I teach, and again, like I said, I want to make this clear. I'm not taking away from anything and anybody who teaches on whatever level, because we all need it at a certain level. But y'all need to stop sitting there and just wanting to hear people repeat it over and over and keep hearing these people spill. that is actually doing it for you to graduate. Ain't that what you go to regular white schools to eventually do? How long you going to stay in the 8th grade and act like you deep? How long you going to stay in high school and act like you're deep? You're supposed to graduate. Most people that fuck with me graduate. There's so many people that fucked with me hard back in the days. They don't now. They've gotten what they want. Some people don't want to spend a lifetime doing this shit. They just get what they want. And that's how it's supposed to be. I've made graduates. You know what I'm saying? And I guess if someone wants to hang around because they like hanging around, that's fine too. But something internally, I would be so frustrated if I'm fucking with you and I'm not going to that next level. When I fucked with Bobby Hemmett, I went to the next level, irregardless of me and him had conversations after the fact. We had conversations because he's seen, I believe, the aggression that was in my ass. You know, he would say things constantly like, I've been giving out that book for years. Niggas ain't fuck with that. Because you get frustrated, and I see why now, when you've made it plain and you've given it out, and the bulk of who you fuck with is still talking about some shit from before. You know what I'm saying? Still from scratch. See, I've learned not to let that fuck with me. What's the next level, Cos Magus? You need to find that and define it for yourself. See, that's my exact point. When a nigga asks, what is the next level? You're asking me to define it for you? For real? Or is that general? Because to me, that's fucking stupid. The next level is you licking a donkey's ass. Now, why don't you begin? The next level is something you're supposed to define for yourself, not when the moon turns blue. That's the point of what you're hearing right now. That's the point of what you're hearing right now. You know what I'm saying? The next point is for you to be on automatic pilot, for you to have internal questions that you need. Why did you come to Earth then? Why did you come to Earth? For me to answer your questions? For Bobby Hemmett to answer your questions? Dr. Africa to answer your questions? No, they're supposed to be helping you through their expertise to find a way for you to even ask questions of yourself. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Giving you ways to ask questions of yourself because you previously didn't remember the questions to ask of you. You just knew you wanted to know. That's the idea. What's the next level? You define it. And then when you're done with the levels here, you're dead. It's like asking Mario, what's the next level? Whatever. Soon as you get to King Koopa, motherfucker, you there. Did you go through the pipes? Did you fly? Did you have a mushroom? Whatever, nigga. It's not for the next man to define. Or it is also not for the moon to define. And your ability not being able to talk should be not for Mercury in retrograde. I thought you created all of that. So you don't know either the cheat codes or how to supersede your own creation? Duh. And of course you don't. That's the idea of becoming human, but that's the path you're walking back towards. And that's your own path. You're asking the next man to walk your path. You're asking the next man to walk your path. That's not a good way of being. But that's what you guys got sucked into. Starting one with religion, and then the conscious movement was to break that chain. But then when people start to see it's harder to break you out of the mind control and easier to buy into it with new symbols. You get it? It's harder to break the mind control, but much easier. We're at 777. 777 people in the room. It's harder to break the mind control because they don't even understand it in themselves, but easier to buy into it as a agent provocateur or someone who just says, fuck it. I can't save them. They won't save themselves. Even though I lay out all these tools, it's easier to tell them what they want to hear. Because when you tell them what they want to hear, they go into their own pockets for you. You make them feel good. See, if I say shit that makes you feel good, my Cash App goes up. That's church. That's where you learned it from. You learned that from church. He says what makes it feel good. And as soon as he sees in your eyes that frenzy, that alpha state where that mouth opens and them eyes widen up, that's when you pass that collection plate around. Ooh, brother, thank you.
Lucky,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. You see, why am I, see, why wasn't it divine? Thanks, TJ. Got me some slices. Yeah. Buddy. I was telling people, niggas can't get, well, no, I'll keep on the subject. That fucking pizza, boy. New York, boy, that shit got me under mind control with pizza. All right. So the blue moon, if you find something and it feels good, do it. But if you feel an obligation, and this is some once in a lifetime thing, then you actually fell under the mind control. I'm waiting for an event, and someone to tell you what event for you to do some shit. Now, there are certain events that if you can decode are indications of things that are happening in you. For instance, like Beetlejuice. But look at the average Christian and shit, fuck that for the average nigga in the so-called conscious community. If you don't work with the energy, it doesn't mean nothing. Life goes on and on and on and on again. And then you'll be living another lifetime waiting for another fucking, the moon is purple today. Before you realize that's not the only thing. None of this matters if you can't utilize it. See what it is, you think you are saved just because you have melanin. Contraire mon frere. I'm saying it takes a lot for your car to run, not just having a car. You need gas, you need wheels, a steering wheel, seats, all of these things that you have to get together as a whole before you can go anywhere. So that's like somebody saying, what's the next level? Well, when you get in your car that's working, do you want me to tell you where to drive as well? I'm just trying to get you in a working car. And that's what any teacher should be trying to do, get you in something that works. And you're just admiring all of this shit. Because that's really all you're gonna do. Admire the moon. And if you light a candle or do whatever that you may have learned, well, good. If you're making something work for you. Like for instance, for years I heard about reverse candles. And it's obvious what they do. And niggas, oh, they fucking with me. Don't let me light my candles and reverse them on y'all niggas. Reverse candles, da 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 da. So what I did was, early on in the 2000s, when they were going crazy over the 9/11 anniversaries, and everybody was still lighting white candles, I just got reverse candles then to try to get the energy of everybody who was lighting the candles to come my way. So instead of all that energy going to 9/11 niggas, how about I get some of that energy myself? That's how you serve yourself. That's the next level. That type of creative thinking. So now the only thing left to do is to do it to see if you can yield results. And oh, yes, I did. That night, all I heard was thousands of people calling out their names. My name is such and such. So what I knew, which is what you can speculate, that the ritual and the people dying, they were able to entrap them in the astral world. The astral world is a part of this world. It could be divine, it could be heaven or hell. That's the true heaven or hell. It depends on your mind, because your mind is running it. So when you go to the astral world, you have nothing but your mind. If you think you're going to hell and it's burning and it's an inferno, oh yeah. But see, when you feel that, you're able to come back to earth, and you will. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're ignorant or whatever. Now, they're entrapped because they don't know no better. They're victimized. They are the same mentality as you niggas talking about, oh, the moon is blue. Okay, I guess we're doing some hot shit tonight, and don't know what to do. They're just being led around by what people tell them. So when planes hit, not out of some orchestrated event, they don't know what to do. Calling their family, this is it. Believing in that bullshit they were told, have no way of empowering themselves, not prepared themselves for any form of death, don't know shit about ancestors pretty much, or whatever you want to call it. And they go wherever they are directed to go. And therefore, they are directed to by people who understand what I'm teaching you now. So when I did the reverse ritual, I heard them all trying to get recognition because they have no self-identity in the astral world. That's the ritual. That day I also got my soul name. So I yielded results by doing my own thing. That's the next level. So if I would have did the moon ritual, I would just lit reverse candles for when somebody was bothering me. That's the regular norm. That's the keyboard playing by the book. But when you start going into the chaos or the creative aspect of things, you yield a whole different understanding. And it has nothing to do with the community. It has everything with your confidence and how to keep doing those spiritual calisthenics till you have full-grown muscles. You understand? You're not doing that. Just repeating about the moon. Remember the red moon, the blood moon. Remember the moon was close. Remember the moon was closest. Now it's supposed to be closest and this and that, the other thing. Listen, it's never ending. That's one of the things I noticed. And let me tell you how I made that mistake. Y'all might need to hear this. When 2012 was approaching, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be the end of the end and the be all the end all 2012. We're going to do this. All the rest of that shit, right? And then when 2012 came, nothing really happened. What did everybody say? All these divine teachers that you fuck with? Well, it's not really 2012. The Ethiopian calendar says, the Kemetic calendar, which all may be very true. But then when I talked to Bobby about it, here's what he said. You ever notice I don't do that shit? start putting all my eggs in an event. He said, because we did that, or you might have said they were doing that for Y2K. And the lecture circuit, after nothing happened in 2000, got dead. He said he was doing 4 lectures or 6 lectures a month. He was down to 1 lecture a month. It was over. It got, and that was the point of eye opener with Brother Shabazz. They kind of put a new energy in it and started it again to where it is when you see Bobby at that when you see him in that the place with all in that auditorium speaking. Now, what he's pretty much saying is events come and go constantly. There's a meteorite, and you can see this in the sky and that in the sky. All of that is happening internally. It's internal indications. But if you're doing no internal work, you're actually ignoring it. Even though you see it with these eyes, you're ignoring it with this eye. And this is the eye that actually benefits from. If you're seeing it with this eye, it's trying to indicate what's happening. That star system is nothing more than you're in a planetarium. There's no vast place out there. Again, if you're going to understand and co-sign that Earth is an illusion, that you're in Maya, then how could any of that shit out there be real? This whole thing is happening inside of you. That whole solar system that you're seeing, or that whole universe or galaxies that you were told that you're supposed to be seeing, actually exists in your third ventricle. And again, if you look in Dr. Africa's book, of course, he has a picture of the inside of your third ventricle where you can see the Sirius star system in your own head. So if anybody's gone to a planetarium before, you understand that you're sitting in a dome and the universe is being projected above your head, but you're in one room. You're having that same experience. The one room is your own mind. And you have to understand, when they say the mind is all, that's what you're worried about. They don't say the mind is all, but wait till the moon turns blue. Think about that for a second. All of these things could actually be tools, but that same tool, a hammer, can be used to bang you upside your head and kill you. And it could also be used to build a house. And somebody said no Pepsi tonight. I gotta get this water in a little bit later. And then or if I say a screwdriver, I may be used to build with a screwdriver, or use that screwdriver to stab or take apart. Screwdriver goes both ways. You can bang a hammer in, you can bang a nail in with a hammer, but on the other side of the hammer, it has the object to take the nail out. Tools go both ways. So a blue moon could be a tool that either builds or can destroy you. And because your foundation has been destroyed through religion and public school training, anything that you pile up on top of it, including our divine information, just goes in a pile of destruction, because you haven't changed from destruction to building. You understand? You have to. That's the core of what I've been teaching. That's the core of what the true teachers are teaching, how to rebuild your mind into, when there is something like a blue moon, you know how to receive and benefit from it. Using your own creativity and imagination. I can't begin to tell you how many things I've done to get my mind thinking outside of the box. And those are creative things. Those things are against the norm. Get a pumpkin, get an octopus, open up the pumpkin, put the octopus in it. After a day, put it outside during Halloween for a Cthulhu ritual to open up the soul subconscious mind communication. You ain't ready. And while you do that, take a bath in the cayenne pepper, very light cayenne pepper, sea salt in a crystal. Now, see what happens to you. There's no one thing that's going to happen. I can tell you what happened to me when I did it. So now, if you take this mentality where you're not trying to recreate what I did, that's when you're causing destruction. Religion. If you try to do this because I made it successful for me, to see if it's successful for you, because you very well may do that and go, nothing happened to me. But when I ate some French fries, though, you understand what I'm saying? That's what you're here to find out. That's why any true occultist is a scientist. And a scientist is here to experiment, not to co-sign with what other niggas say. That's not a scientist. And that's not an occultist. You know what I'm saying? An occultist has to experiment. You set up an altar not to do what I'm doing or the way I did it. You set up an altar to see what happens to you. To be able to add to a conversation. You're going to add to a conversation doing what I did. Then why are you saying the word build? Me and Panic were building. No, we weren't. You were repeating what I'd said, what I did, trying to recreate what I did. If you either did what I did or found another layer or did something else that you can offer as a tool, then we're building. We're not building if you're just repeating and trying to, everyone's doing the blue moon because that's what the community is saying. Grow up. Quite simply, just grow up. All right, let's deal with something else. Psychomancy classes have began. The first cycle is Saturday. We do Saturday and Sunday. Get in and out. And it is the life changer that I know it to be. You say this. Fucking pizza's good. To be clear, no one will be even using the word cyclomancy if I didn't bring it to the game. And this is how it came about. Rhode Island went to visit this lady, and we went to a used bookstore, and I just grabbed a chunk of shit from their metaphysical section. And one of the books I got was Cyclomancy. Why this book stuck out to me? Because in the New Age time, any magical books came with warnings. And that's because it puts a psychological hold on the New Age mind. The New Agers or the New Age mind who's trying to get into it, when they give you that warning in the beginning, be careful what you do to come back tenfold on you. That subconsciously put in your mind, no matter what I do or learn here, I have a hold on how far I could go or where I should use it. This is another way of saying, if you niggas run across this information, don't kill white people. Please don't kill us. Because they know you, right, they set a ceiling. Great one, Donnie Darko. They set a ceiling. But what they're really saying is, we don't want to put this in the hands of black people and all of a sudden. Phil Valentine told this story back in one of his lectures that that in Texas there was a drought, and there was a radio host that just put out on the radio, I want y'all guys to close your mind and think of wet, think of water, think of this, think of that. And he did it and almost flooded out this area of Texas and told them, please stop, please stop. So what does this tell you? Our minds unified go somewhere. I noticed this years ago when Avatar came out. One of the things they do is predictive programming. So in Avatar, or movies like Avatar, if they're going to create a world scenario that they're going to have to sell to you, and you have to subtly let it happen, you can't be shocked when it happens. So we now know, or we should know, that anything in your mind that you can think of to the subconscious mind is actually happening. So if you focus and see the detail of you running a marathon and try to remember every feeling that came along with it, the subconscious mind actually thinks you're running a marathon. And you will get the health benefits of a runner. Body would change and everything. Knowing this, meditation is the key. Then your imagination becomes the key. Because what makes things real? I told you, your subconscious. So your subconscious is not rational. So when it's happening for real, that's why if you have negative thoughts, you have a negative outcome. You keep saying, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. Subconscious mind says, okay, you're telling me that, and I can't tell the difference between your mood of the day. You keep saying it in your mantra. You keep seeing it in your head, in your symbol. You keep telling me and recognizing the trauma that gets you in that mood. I guess it's true. And that's how you become depressed. And that also works with anything positive too. Oh, that's why you get positive thought. Think that, don't speak ill of the dead. You bring it out loud. Your mind can't tell the difference. So, ironically enough, I'll tell you another thing that you probably never even thought about, but why it's done. You'll see disabled people, missing arms, missing legs, born a certain kind of way. They have an incredible, Cheryl just keeps saying I'm live. I think people are aware of that by now, Cheryl. I think it's Cheryl who keeps saying that. But anyway, they do more videos of them poking fun at themselves than people who are straight poke fun at themselves. And when I'm starting to see this whole phenomenon of disabled people making these jokes, I said, oh, I get it. Because if in our mind we treat and laugh and treat them normal, then we'll start to treat them in everyday life as normal. You follow what I'm saying? There's this one dude with little baby arms who just does shit, just be eating shit. Like he drives and shit, then he goes, that each time he eats, he just taps shit. Yeah, and then he just shakes his fries up. You know what I'm saying? And like, you're trying to act like you have compassion, but you know you really laughing, right? But then I get why, at least some of them I imagine, they're trying to show normalcy. And if you can laugh, because they can't help the way they were born. So what are they going to do? You're supposed to act, and there's always an elephant in the room. You know, we was just all chilling, a nigga walk in the room. Where the bitches? You're going to be like, oh, man. And then you're going to go in the next room with your man, and y'all going to go crazy. But if if they don't care, and I could get why they wouldn't, what could they do? They know people all their lives. They go in the room and they see people. They're not stupid. See people holding back laughter. So why don't they just address it? I could see people doing that. You understand that's how the mind works. And if you understand and you can see how the mind works, not just even in the so-called occult, when you observe things about the mind, such as this, and that's how you get to the next level, by understanding and evaluating these things like this, and see, does it line up with other things, and see if or what does it line up with. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you, we did an interview on the podcast that's coming, and I did this interview before and took it down, so a lot of y'all didn't see it. But we did it again with the podcast with Brother Devin. Brother Devin has cerebral palsy. But I guarantee you he will fuck all of y'all up at where he is in his mind. The shit he's communicating with, the shit he's doing is so advanced. And he'll tell you himself. He doesn't have a body, and he was diagnosed since he was born. So all he had was his mind. So when he hears me speak and there's no physical resistance in his way, he hears me and others as well, and made shit happen. And that interview will be coming up soon. We already interviewed him. Brother Devin, just a brother that I know who has cerebral palsy. So we got some interesting stories. And stories that show, I'm trying to show people who made something out of themselves. Not the same ass routine thing. Brother Devin, he's on Facebook. Whatever it is. See if I can find his Facebook real quick. DEVON. I said, I knew him for about 10 years online. Hold up. Look at the hiccups. That's some good ass water. All right. Phone is going real slow. Let me see if I can get it through Messenger. He's always Messenger in my black ass. So I could give you, so y'all could hook up and meet him, even though he gives all this information on the interview that I did with him. So who, he's a guy I did an interview for, has cerebral palsy, that he's going to show you what a badass motherfucker is. He's going to make all you motherfuckers look silly. His name is Devin Harris on Facebook. Devin Harris, DEVON Harris. And y'all look forward to that interview so y'all could see a mentality that y'all should be adapting. And when you talk to him, he's got more shit on his plate than I know you niggas, you Burger King ass, Arby's ass niggas is doing. So this, when you see him, his confidence, his innocence, what it will do for you, hopefully, is inspire you to understand, to get past how cool you think you are and get down to some basics in understanding yourself, some basic work. You're not doing that. You're looking for shortcuts and easy ways out and all sorts of other kind of shit. Don't do it, niggas. All right, let's get into something else. Well, here's what I know. This ain't a 5-hour lecture. This is not gonna happen today. We're about to end this soon. But I asked something good because it's everything I wanted to say, which was pretty much come check out the new psychomancy class and don't get hung up on the blue moon. If you found or can find a way to access it, or someone who's truly a teacher is giving you it as a tool to benefit you in this short amount of time, or they have given it, then knock yourself out. If they're just talking that bullshit, oh, it's a blue moon and we're in a special phase of the goddess and the energy is pristine, go out and get your tea and sit outside and put your feet in the dirt and all that. Okay, that's nice. You'll do that any day though. That don't mean nothing. Like, then that means you're just interested in seeing the phenomenon of this place. And if you're interested in seeing the phenomenon of this place, then you're not interested in leaving this place. You find it interesting. I don't find the moon turning blue interesting no more. I'm done with this. But again, that's just me. But then you niggas need to stop saying dumb shit to me like, when I die, I don't want to come back. Yes, you do. You want to see more blue moons. That's what I see. Justin Thomas. It's Justice Thomas. Oops. It's an inside joke. Yeah, Devin Harris, Walid Muhammad, Wahid. Good, honest dude with a divine, divine heart. You'll see for yourself. Geometry signatures. I don't know what that is. I'm not so sure what that is, brother. Yeah, scared to death. How you die, not come back. But I love to see that blue moon before I leave. Right. Occult science, what up, Illuminated, is really a choice that you're making. And the choice is you're saying, really, and if you fucking with me, see, I move on the assumption that you made that choice, even though I know the reality is no way, Jose. But assuming you made the choice that, okay, I feel I got everything I needed out of Earth. I'm the black sheep. Nothing gets me excited. I don't want to travel and see this world. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. If you want to go to Florida and just to Disney World, have fun. But we talking about just that's what you get out of bed to do. You know what I'm saying? If you that person, okay, that's just a level to me. And truthfully, even though I make a face, I'm only making a face from my perspective. Some people, that's it. It's no crime to be young. You know what I'm saying? And a young person that comes here needs a few lifetimes to learn how to play that keyboard. I'm talking to people who have stepped up. I'm a teacher from college. I'm not a teacher from elementary school. So I expect that you did your work to get to this school in high school. I expect that you graduated and you're ready to be grown now. And that's how I teach from that perspective. If you're not, it's nothing wrong, but, hang out with people who teach high school classes. That's all. And it has nothing to do with bad or good, not belittling or big upping, because your high school teachers are very influential, very important, and very divine as well. There's people who came to do this and do it on this level, but you have to recognize levels. See, it's only a shame no one's teaching you mind control at an early level, because then you'll be able to evaluate your own mind. You start dealing with mind control when you get to the upper levels of the teachers. And by then you're already doing your mind control Christianity to understand the shit that you're fucking with. So Mind control needs to be understood in an earlier basis to understand how the mind works. Real teachers, even at a high school level, should be teaching that, the laws of Tahuti, and actually is really there. You can read Wayne Chandler's book, Ancient Future, and he gives a good understanding of the seven laws of Tahuti. Once you understand those laws, you're in a you're in a very good place. Also called the Kabbalah in later day. Once you understand that, you're in a very good place of study for understanding the principles of how you should navigate through your study. It's not even about the study anymore. And that's why shit is sounding corny, because people just sitting in front of you saying shit that is way done. There was a time where you couldn't find this particular knowledge. There was very, very small avenues, and there was no Amazon. So books were absolutely out of print all day. The name of the game was out of print books. And when Amazon and the internet came back, all those out of print books came back. Everyone started having their YouTube, white, black, and the like. The conscious community, when it was on a certain level of, what's the best word to say? A certain understanding that everybody walked through the door with, no matter what they taught, there was a way to teach it, got absorbed into monetizing YouTube. And they also got absorbed into smelling their own ass, feeling their own snake bite, arguing with each other about fucking nothing. Is the black woman God? You know that's a yes. Then who is? If she's not, then who is? That's not a debate. That's something that they figured would entertain you motherfuckers. And y'all not necessarily all of y'all, but y'all bought into it. They're trying to entertain you. And if they're smart enough, entertain you. And some of them were entertaining you into following them down to nowhere, into what they call trick knowledge, where you believe you're listening to knowledge, but you're not. When I start naming names and start asking you, well, what did you actually learn from them? They wasn't teaching you nothing. They was trying to show you how smart they were. And they were. Those were some geniuses I seen sitting in front of us. But at the same time, because you were witnessing their genius, somehow your ego picked up that you were somehow involved in genius. No, you're just listening to something that's out of your league. If they're dropping something, see, if I said to you this is what's odd to me. If I said to you, sickness vibrates at a 23 megahertz, health 110 megahertz. I'm making all these numbers up. Depression, this megahertz. Such and such, this megahertz. Now, you may sit there and go, damn, that nigga panics deep. And you wrote all of that shit down. But here's why it becomes trick knowledge. Because I didn't make that up. Information like that detail with those specific numbers, I got it from somewhere. I either got it from a book or another teacher. The question becomes, why won't I tell you where I got it from? So you can read it yourself and come up with your own determination. I want to give you the illusion that I made it up. So you can think I'm the smart one bringing you that subconsciously. See, if you put some thought to it, you can come up with what I just said. It's not really that hard. But you're trained not to think about it because you were in church. You're trained to hear what he said or she said and say, damn, that's deep, because I didn't know that. But you're not trained to say, where did you learn it at, nigga? He is what you are. You are what he is. So why aren't you trained to say, where'd you get it from? See, before this shit was on the internet, that's why they used to say the word check. What you think check meant? If I said something, such and such is a such and such frequency, that's a certain frequency, the pressure is a frequency, check. Because I was trying to tell you, check what I said. I wouldn't say anything in front of you unless it was checkable and where you could check it from. You heard, Big Bird? That turned over into just making these statements that you clearly got from either some book, but you didn't channel it, or some teacher who got it from some book. Why aren't they telling you that? They want to leave your mind control where it was, believing that they are who you need to transform yourself. You now have a psychological reliance on them, not on yourself. When you have a true teacher, it hurts when I talk to you sometimes because I'm trying to empower you. And that's what hurts, because the reality is everything in this society has taken power away from you. And even when someone tries to restore it to you, you think it's an act of war. When I'm telling you, because all I'm telling you primarily, and some people will take offense to what I've been saying so far about the moon and it being blue. What it will tell you is, what I've been telling you, I'm sorry, is you don't need the moon. You don't need the color blue. You're divine every day. Anything a blue moon, a white moon, a purple, orange stars, and green clovers can offer you, you can do right now. That's what I'm saying to you. And there will be people who's offended that I'm telling you that you're God. See, I'm trying to convince you that you're God. And you should be trying to convince yourself that you're God, while you listen to niggas that convince you that they're God. Well, the megahertz of depression is this and yeah, nigga, power versus force. Hawkins, get the book. Right. Read it for yourself and see your interpretation. That's what check meant. Don't be a foolish mule. All right, where we at? 127. Shit is getting thin, guys. I'm ready to go upstairs. I hear my granddaughter ready to go play cars and whatever game she tells me we're playing. So that's more spiritual, getting into the imagination. She's been exercising my imagination by me entertaining her with her toys. And that's what a grandfather's supposed to do. So y'all are not that interested in to say this shit over and over again. Only thing I can say, come to class. Like I said, the idea is to give you tools to empower yourself, as I've always been in tradition with some of the original teachers before the internet, I should say, before everything became about just getting a check every moment. You know what I'm saying? I get that everybody needs to pay their bills, and so do I. Again, Cash App, $ Brother Pan, make my day go right. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, try to offer something that they can use if they're going to be paying you for it. You're not going to have people pay you just so you could perform consciousness. What I try to give you is not the performance of consciousness, but again, things you can walk away with. And that's also the standard you should be evaluating your teachers with. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people saying, am I still looking for new teachers? I'm not necessarily looking for new teachers. I just think there always should be some teachers available. Now, it may emerge again into something a little bit more comprehensive because so far what I've been seeing is a lot of people ranting about a bunch of recycled internet shit, about child trafficking and GMO food and Vanguard, uh, Trump, the government. You know what I'm saying? What's a good Casa Management? Be Casa Management. I see people ranting about it, and though they look exciting and looking full of exciting rants, it's the same recycled stuff. But that still may be good because there's people who never heard that before. But it only really worked when there was an order of teachers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there was Dr. Lean, there was Brother Phil. Like, even when I met Shabazz, the way he organized his table physically was from your level of consciousness all the way from left to right, from left to right. So it started with tapes of like Farrakhan and Black Pride and ended with Bobby Hemmett and Phil C. Freeman. In the middle, Dr. Africa and Brother Wayne and Oscar Kwesi was probably after Black Power. You know what I mean? Things like that. So it was organized that way because there was a system of your evolution to speak of. There's no longer see, that's where they got us. When it went online, the evolutionary system was disrespected by those who wanted to get the fast cash, start debates, arguments, conflict about nothing, because they don't understand and they're not evolving. So money becomes the path of evolution. Attention becomes the path of evolution. And if they're in the position, they do it. And they did it. And then because these other niggas are fighting for attention, they love that shit. They all became debaters and started debating and arguing about shit that don't even matter to be argued about. You either respect the Black woman as God or you don't. You either know or you don't know. You can't convince me. Yeah, I guess, what do you expect to happen? I guess after all, the Black woman is God. I guess so. They made convincing arguments. No, you either recognize it or you don't. Know what I'm saying? I choose to recognize it. If I choose to see the divinity in me, what question is that in her? And in fact, the divinity in her, the more I study, as I pointed out earlier, through Oracle of the Illuminati, I talked about that in another live, is a book you should get where it explains the importance of the divine feminine and how you can't be Christ without the divine feminine, the mother and the whore. There's just two different aspects of the divine feminine that takes care of you. First, the mother in the nurturing, which is the virgin, non-sexual, and then the sexual aspect of your mother, your girl. That's why every girl finds a man like your father, every man finds a woman like their mother, because that's Mary Magdalene and Mary the Virgin. So and both of them is to nurture and bring forth the Christos energy. So are they God? They're God makers, stupid. And that's obvious. If you're a God, you got here through her vagina. So doesn't that just says it? What do you have to debate about? Try not eating your vegetables when you was little. Did you have a question who God was then? The problem is all you got to do is read Willie Lynch letter when they talk about breaking a horse and getting a mother horse to eat out your hand, and all the kids will follow. The Black woman is just eating out the hand of the white man. That's what you need to stop instead of arguing if she's God. No, this is what's happening to God. Ain't no argument. But see, the argument makes for a better show. You understand? And what y'all niggas need to admit, whether you like it or not, you're here for a show. See, if I started naming names, that's when this room would light up, because you're here for a show. If I said, nah, fuck this guy and fuck that guy, and said names, and this nigga's doing that right now, that's what you really want. That's when my shit will light the fuck up. So you need to stop lying to your fucking selves that you in some fucking community. You're fucking regular niggas who love to gossip, and you found a network that's understandable to you, and that's what you're here for. You don't believe me? Just look at the numbers from the debate. I'm proud to say this. My numbers didn't stagnate, and the numbers that they were getting for the debates, I still was getting the same comparable numbers with just telling knowledge, just speaking knowledge, which is why I kept going. Because if my numbers would have went down, I would have said, no, my time is over. This time is over. So if I still don't get the numbers, I'm gonna respectfully go about my business, because that means my time is up. You understand what I'm saying? So as long as you need it, I'm gonna dish it. But I am absolutely weary. I'm done. I've said pretty much, after I did How to Die and Not Come Back, pretty much said whatever I wanted to say. Things just happen, or when they do. There's a whole bunch of shit I could get into that I know you niggas ain't never heard of. But then I have to ask, are you really worthy of all that effort? Are you really worthy of 5 hours of me talking? Just only for when I come in here to start fucking taking out your genitals and rubbing them to a fucking blue moon? Then I don't know where the disconnect is, but it's not connecting after 5 hours. It's not connected. So why am I wasting my time? I am absolutely, look at my throat chakra. That's the blue moon, nigga. It's over. You know what I'm saying? And the blue moon will be over after today. I don't think there's going to be any more of these long lectures unless there's something that's so spiritually inspirational. You follow what I'm saying? I'm going to concentrate more on live lectures. I think that's where the energy is at. The Q&A is just about over, nigga. I know you used to sitting here forever jerking off, but no, I'm going to give you exactly what them other niggas give you. A half an hour to a fucking hour. Let you start getting used to that. I love you too, Hadiya. Hadiya. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to do it, but I'm going to show you true love and start saying, this is the point. If you don't get the point after an hour and a half to 2 hours, then you ain't never going to get the point at all. I'm sure it'll be longer than that sometimes, because, I'm long-winded, but MD or DC, next DMV, you'll know. I don't know when. I don't plan out all in advance. The next one will be in Atlanta. So all you people who have never been here, all my Atlanteans, get prepared. We're looking at November. Then it'll probably be something like DMV. That's one of my big ones, because so many of the neighboring states. So DC, we'll probably go to Baltimore, where DC, Maryland could get there, New York could get there, and whatever's popping in Virginia. So, but let's see if I see anything else or hear anything else. But I think this is about it. I want y'all to join the Cyclomancy class if it's in your will. Saturday is when we start. Go to my website, occultlectures.com. We just got a new shipment of books finally. So a lot of people were waiting. Torin just mailed out a shitload of those today. So y'all should be getting something should be going your way soon. A lot of the first book I couldn't get. A lot of the people waiting for that on the way. Got them all out. So, and we're continuing to do that. So Pandemonium Radio, I told you we are now changing that to Pandemonium Podcast. I've been recording them. That's where you'll see Devin Harris. So look for that. Of course, I'll make a big announcement when that happens. And it's going to be interesting. We're going to interview anybody and everybody of interest. We did it like Pandemonium Radio. So it's going to be set up like that. If you paid for the class, I'm going through every PayPal tonight. If you feel you were in service and played for Psychomont, put in the subject when you email me, paid for class. I'm going to look for that in the subject, not in the body, in the subject. That's going to catch my attention. That's going to make me look for your payment and let you know I don't see it, or you're on the list, and give you the necessary links that you need. Saturday and Sunday will be the class, 3 o'clock until, but we're not doing all of that 1 a.m. shit that I used to do. Y'all lost out on all of that. I'm sorry to say, but y'all also can go and listen to those old classes and listen to every single lecture. It's all up somewhere. So you didn't really lose. You can go back and study all the old shit that I put out. Texas, yes, perhaps, but all our crazy people come from Texas, so Khadijah don't really like it. But I have friends from when I was little who became police officers and then retired cops, and they could do security all across the country. They bring their gun across the country. So they could fly and bring their gun. Truthfully, you could fly from carry to carry state, but for something like Texas and that, we might just have someone sit out there like that because, like, we had some sickos. Niggas came to the house and everything from Texas. Detroit, we did Chicago, we did Detroit. Of course, we coming back. Those are nigga cities. But again, we're not planning for these dates. We don't know if we could get we don't know what's going on with whatever out there. So we plan them for when it's next. I went to LA, I went to Cincinnati, not Cleveland, but maybe Cleveland for the first time. Denver, that's where Khadijah's from. Listen, all of these, here's what you do, guys. Instead of asking me here, which I said earlier, email info@Psalm-D Readings and let her know, yo, we trying to get them out to Denver. We trying to get it. And we see a whole abundance from Denver. Makes sense, don't it? A whole abundance back to Cali. Makes sense, don't it? We went to Cali, LA, Chicago. This is where we've been. Texas, Cali, LA, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Detroit, all of Virginia, Baltimore, DC, Philly, New York, 3 times. Vegas, Florida, Atlanta, and maybe 1 or 2 more somewhere in the middle. Little Rock. So, whatever. We going wherever niggas are. So if there's enough niggas asking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we went to Memphis. I forgot Memphis. That's another one we went to. New Orleans, another one we went to. You know what I'm saying? We went to LA. We went to the middle of LA, some hotel. Went to what you call it? Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. The one that's neutral, I guess. You know, a couple of brothers from LA showed us the good spots to go to. There was another soul food joint that everyone was talking about. The line was too long, but I heard we should have stayed in that line. And we did Nashville, we didn't do Memphis. You know what I'm saying? So there's plenty of places to go. And the COVID shut all of that down, but then again, it's still recovering from the back. Did we do Houston or Dallas last time? I don't remember. But then there's also Austin. And that shit was so hot. I'm coming in the winter in Texas. That shit was like ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? San Diego, we need that feedback for that one. Yeah, there's 2 people who said San Diego. I'm not mad at San Diego. It's just really about feedback. We're going to all the regular ones, Detroit's and the Chicago's and the this and that and the other. Like, just saying Chicago is not going to get it. I told you. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and info@Psalm-D Readings, and you can put all that shit there. All right, so I think that's it. I don't see anything else. Can you access the quantum world through your dreams? Well, the next time I go live, you let me know when you keep trying. All right, guys. Till next time, remember, Cyclomancy class is out now. Don't get wrapped up in the blue moon unless you can use it as a tool. If it becomes just some shit you praying to, then you have failed. But if you can use it and get something out of it, like I said, the reverse ritual got my soul name. The Cthulhu rituals, I went deeper and made a soul connection and understood, just more understanding about self. You know what I'm saying? So do that. See you guys in class. See you guys soon. Peace be unto you.